Hi, Mark here from Korean Today we're going to do a tutorial training session on using Zoom, Skype, FaceTime or any other web-based camera as a medium for conducting an interview. With the COVID-19 situation, remote meetings using Zoom or FaceTime or Google Chat have become the norm for us now, and we believe this will continue in the future, and interviews will be done using this medium. So today's tutorial is to make sure that we can get the best from using those tools to make ourselves look really great in front of a new employer. Okay, so let's get underway. So firstly, what do we need to look at? Well, we need to look at the camera itself. Now, as you can see, I've got my laptop on the desk and I've opened it up. It's at an angle. I'm sitting right in the middle of the screen and the person can see me fine. We can have a really good conversation. But wait a minute, does it really look very good? Because you're looking up at my double chin, you're looking up my nose, and it really doesn't do me any favors. So what do we need to do? Well, we need to get that camera lens up above our eye level. We are very used to seeing people in an interview situation on TV, etc., where they're looking at that same angle. So we're going to try and replicate that today. How are we going to do that? Well, I don't have any fancy stands or camera equipment, so I'm going to be pretty innovative, and I'm going to put the laptop up on a cardboard box to get that height. So let me just stop for a second and we'll get that camera angle fixed. Okay, so now the camera angle is fixed, and that looks a much more natural way of looking at a person face to face. We're looking eye to eye contact. So we've done a pretty nice job there now. But wait, we can improve this some more. Now, as you can see, we're right in the middle of the camera, and that looks fine, but there is a technique that for getting positioning that I'd like to talk to you about, and it's called the rule of thirds. Now, the rule of thirds means that you divide the screen that way and horizontally into thirds, and those grid lines give you some positioning marks to be upon. So if I shift to the left and to the right and onto those third lines, you'll see what the changes in camera angle do and see what you think. So let's shift to the left angle. Okay, so now you see we're left, we're looking more into the shot, we're looking into the background. It's a nice angle. We look like we're talking to a person in real time. And we can do the same on the other angle. Now we've shifted to the right side on the third, and you can see we're looking in and it looks a bit more natural. Now, me being right-handed, this is the better position for me. So I'm going to stay on this angle. Okay, so we've got the camera angle. We're happy with that now. It works for us. And what I like about this third is that you can lean into the shot and come into the center, and it gives you a much more personal viewpoint, and you can move in and out and look interested, be more expressive when you're on the third lines. Okay, so now we've got the camera set up, we need to look at the background that we've got. Now, obviously I'm in the office and we've got a nice professional background. The office is nice and tidy. I'm the only one here at the moment, so there's no cluttering and other people in the shot. I would be quite happy for a person interviewing me to see this environment. So what's the next thing we need to look at? Well, it's the sound. Now, if we're using a laptop, more than likely you'll be using the speakers built into the laptop. Now, you will see that I have an earpiece from a phone, and I'm using that to do the sound. Why am I doing that? Because the built-in microphone on a laptop is designed to pick up sound from a distance. Now, there's some pluses and minuses in that it picks up the environment, but it also picks up all the bad things we don't. The clanging and the cluttering, someone shutting a door, banging, talking, whatever, which is distracting for the person we're doing the interview for. So we're simply going to use the headphones from your phone, and that gives us a mic that's very directional and is picking up just on the voice, and it's a shorter distance, so it gives a nice sound and a better sound for the interview. Using this sound system, doesn't matter whether you're using a laptop or a phone, we're getting the same results. So let's talk about lighting. One of the things we need to consider is that generally we'll be using a laptop to do these interviews. Now the camera on a laptop is not the best camera in the world. It's certainly not broadcast studio quality. So what we need to do, because of the camera lacks the quality in the lens, we need to let lots of light in to get a good image. Now, daylight is the perfect light for us. In terms of photography, it's color balanced to the temperature of the light that we're using. And you'll see warmer lights have a yellow glow, daylight has a slightly bluer feel to it, more natural. Okay, so now we've got the positioning of the camera, we've got the sound, we've got the lighting. As I've said before, I'm using a laptop, but we could easily use a mobile phone for this. Now, I have an iPhone, it's an old one, but it's got a good camera. It works well. So we're going to do everything else the same in terms of the setup. The only thing is we're going to prop the camera up on the box to get the same angle. We're going to use the same microphone. It will plug straight into the phone, of course. It's designed to do that. Doesn't matter which brand of phone you've got, Android or Apple, it doesn't matter. The same principle applies here. And on some of the phones, of course, the cameras are very, very good, so you get a nice clean image. So we're going to simply replicate the same thing. Now, I would recommend that you lay the phone horizontally. Why? Because that gives you the same shot that we're getting right now, and it gives you the same amount and ability to move in and demonstrate some movement in the shot. So I think it's a good medium for that. If you go in the portrait mode, it's quite narrow and restricts your movement to stay in shot, and we want to be free to express. But it's a strong medium, and you will be perfectly happy if you do it on a phone. Okay, so we've got the technical side of everything worked out now. Some other things that we need to think about. The next thing we need to think about is our dress. Now, we want to make the very best impression we can upon the employer that we're meeting. So dress as I'm dressed now for guys and ladies. Smart business casual is the rule. We don't want to be overdressed. That would be wrong if I'm sitting here in a suit and tie. We want to be natural, but we want to have nice shirt or top on. It doesn't matter about the bottom, because they're not seeing that, of course. Guys, have a haircut, have a shave, make sure you look tidy. For ladies, make sure that you have makeup on if you normally wear it, but if you don't go overboard. What we're looking to do is to present a nice, real image so that we can build a relationship with the person that we're talking to on the call. So, nice and tidy, don't go overboard, but make some effort because the first impressions count. The other thing that we need to do is prepare for the questions. Now, your consultant will take you through interviewing techniques and take you through some of the type of questions you're going to get, so you'll be well versed on that. But make sure you have some things handy. Any information you have on the company, so you can answer questions if they ask you what you know about the company or why you want to work there. Have the job description so you can pick up and discuss on any items you might want to clarify. Now remember that an interview is not a one-way conversation, so engage with the person you're talking to. And that is the way you will form this relationship. And if you've got everything prepared there, you've done the training with your consultant, then you'll feel comfortable in the interview situation. Now there is one last thing I would suggest you do. Whatever medium you're using, I would suggest that you set it all up, turn it on, make sure the sound all works, the light looks all good, and just check everything before your call so that when the call comes through, you're not having to muck around, you know things are going to look good, and you're going to be set to knock that interview out of the ballpark. So we've looked at the camera, we've looked at our positioning on the screen, we've looked at sound, we've looked at lighting, we've looked at dress and preparation. We should now be ready to go and do the interview. But if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call at 0800 at Career Moves, and we can help answer any questions and talk to you about any other training you might need to prepare for that interview.